Hello, I'm Marcel Kadiev, and this is a demo of a new hair tool for 3ds Max called simply Hair.Basic. Hair.Basic allows you to utilize existing polygon tools inside 3ds Max for creating and modeling hair. It contains tools for generating hair strands from geometry parametrically, following the geometry contours as it deforms, and then translating the hairs back to geometry for rendering. All of this can be set up through a set of modifiers, but to make things very easy, Hair.Basic contains a function called Add Hair to Selection, which does all of that work for us. In this demo, I will be only using that function. You can download and install Hair.Basic for your version of Max from our website Ephere.com. Once you have done that, you're ready to go. Let's begin by opening up a new Max scene and creating a sphere. For the purpose of this demonstration, I will just use a primitive for a surface. However, you can apply the same principles to any arbitrary surface polygon mesh. If you open up the Max script listener and type in the name of our magic function, Add Hair to Selection, you will see Max script acknowledging that it indeed exists. If you execute this function at this point, you will be notified that either no objects are currently selected or no faces are selected. Add Hair to Selection works only on currently selected mesh faces, and so we must go to Modify panel and add a Poly Select modifier first. I will then select some faces on the surface of my sphere and then execute the Add Hair to Selection function again. This time something happened. Our faces got extruded from the surface of the sphere. If you look closer, you will notice that under the extruded faces we now have some hair. Also, the original mesh is still there, so the extruded faces come from a copy of our original mesh. I will make the extruded mesh transparent so that we can better see what goes inside of it. This mesh is now our hair model. It will be responsible for where the hair gets generated and what shape it has. I can change the extrusion depths and the hair will get shorter or longer with it. Now we are free to edit our extruded mesh to refine our hair and produce more of it. Let's add the Edit Poly modifier on top and extrude some more faces. The hair does not initially conform to the changes we made. That is because we need to use our magic Add Hair to Selection function to specify the new faces that should reflect our hair tips. To save me some time from going to the listener over and over again, I will drag and drop the function onto Max's main toolbar, thus generating a button which executes it. When I press the button, the function gets executed again and our hair is updated accordingly. I can go and grab some of the extruded vertices and alter the shape of hair tips in a freestyle manner. I can also select more faces and extrude them to produce more hair in more places. The extruding process does not have to be uniform. As long as we call Add Hair to Selection on proper faces, we will get predictable results. In fact, we do not even need to extrude at all. We can achieve same result by just pulling off some faces and calling our function. Hair.Basic is smart enough to identify the changes you make to the mesh and fill them with hair. After having modeled the hair, let's go and look at its structure. Notice that the scene now has 3 extra nodes. One of these is the node representing hair guides. If we select it, we can look at its parameters inside the Modify panel. After a bunch of technical parameters, at the very bottom we can find the Segments per Guide parameter. This controls how smooth the resulting guides and hairs get generated by setting the number of points along their length. The hair model mesh is the one we just modeled and we can hide it for now. The last new node is the hair node. Here we can see a number of modifiers in the stack, starting with the modifier that generates roots. Inside of it, we can alter the number of hairs generated per each polygon, thus changing the hair density. Next is the hair from guides generator. We can change some interpolation parameters here. The last modifier generates polygons from our hair. Here we can control the thickness of generated strands at root and tip of the hairs, as well as we can change the number of sides for each strand cylinder. All of this hair is generated in a way that depends on the original sphere surface. So if we take our sphere and add a bend modifier to it, we can see the hairs deform along its surface. Likewise, we can modify the extruded sphere mesh and control the hair shape. This opens up a lot of possibilities for hair animation and dynamics, as well as many other interesting systems. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I look forward to any comments. Thank you.